Nero, the Roman emperor who ruled between 54 AD and 68 AD, was reportedly playing the violin when the Great Fire of Rome destroyed nearly the entire ancient city. Being a Nero is not something anyone wants to be tagged with. Today, in our own city, and that too in the Assembly, we have had something of that kind. Meet Namma Chief Minister, who did a Nero in the Assembly today. And there was no board conversation. The opposition was virtually going at the government after the heinous rape of a 6-year-old school-going student. But our Chief Minister Sahibru found some time to catch those 40 winks. But when the truth was aired, the Chief Minister denied being in the sleep mode. Listen to him.
No, I was not sleeping. Who told you? It is not correct. I was very much attentive and I was listening to them.
If the sleep episode was on the prominent sidelines of proceedings, the day began on a less than peaceful note. One could see BJP leaders helping one another wear black armbands, protesting against the casual approach of the government towards a rape menace. The opposition wanted a discussion, and one could see most of the BJP leaders on their feet demanding an explanation from the Congress government. Former Minister and BJP leader Vishweshwara Hegde demanded the resignation of the Home Minister KJ George.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಭೇದ ಭಾವಗಳನ್ನು ಮರೆತು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಡೀತಿರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆಯ ಧ್ವನಿ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೃಹ ಸಚಿವರು ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು.
But Chief Minister Siddaramaiah would have none of this.
Why? If such being the case, those people should have been resigned 1,000 times when they were in power.
While the Chief Minister commented on the resignation, the Congress hit out at the BJP inside the Assembly.
Is there still anything left for them to make a resignation? I want to know.
In fact, at one point early in the morning, the opposition simply couldn't take the lethargy of the government and chose to walk out of the Assembly, not before even the mild-mannered Speaker Kagudu Timmappa's patience was tested.
What you say? Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me. I know my job. Don't threaten me.
The opposition tirade continued even after the Assembly convened post the 30-minute adjournment. Kageri was once again on his feet, hitting out at the government. The talk of moral responsibility tested the Congress's patience. Higher Education Minister R.V. Deshpande demanded that the opposition members revoke their remarks. The BJP even tried making a point about the number of rapes in the state, in the national capital.
ಬಹುಶಃ ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲೂ ತುಂಬ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಕೊಲೆಗಡಕರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಶಿಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅತ್ಯಾಚಾರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನು ಮಾರ್ಪಾಡು ಮಾಡಿ.
Former Home Minister and BJP leader R. Ashoka also questioned the Congress government's resolve.
ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹೆಸರಿತ್ತು, ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಸಿಟಿ, IT ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ರೇಪ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಆಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ನಾವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ, ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಅಗೌರವ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
The spate of rapes in Bengaluru has dented the image of the city, which had even caused sleepless nights to President Barack Obama due to its technological edge. A News9 report. The incidents of rape in Karnataka reached the capital as well. The political class of Delhi had their own comments about the incidents. Take a look.
After the massive uproar in the Karnataka Assembly over the sexual assault of a 6-year-old school student, reactions came in from leaders in Delhi as well.
So it is very unfortunate that even now schools are unsafe for young girls, and girls are so vulnerable in our country that schools, homes, streets, markets, they are so unsafe. So now it's high time that men and people change their mindsets. There's fear of law in this country. Children and women are given protection so that they have a safe, they have safety, and there should be zero tolerance as far as women atrocities concerned, rapes are concerned, because unless we do that, we are on the verge of being declared as the rape capital of this world.
Not just Congress, but even AAP condemned the incident and expected the Karnataka government to take action against the culprits.
See, it's a very sensitive issue, and we all hope that the government in Karnataka wakes up and assures the security of women. This is very, very shameful act, and I can only pray that those who are responsible should be brought to justice as soon as possible.
Apart from criticizing the heinous crime, BJP remarked on the insensitivity of the Chief Minister, who was caught sleeping in the assembly today.
It's very tragic that when a discussion on deteriorating law and order and crime in the state of Karnataka is taking place, the Honorable Chief Minister found it fit to be caught napping on such a sensitive issue. It just shows a complete lack of apathy and a lack of concern towards various rapes that have taken place. There have been about 12 rapes in the last 1 month alone in the state of Karnataka, and this heinous crime of raping of a 6-year-old which happened in one of the schools. There has to be a strict action, and the leader has to lead from the front. The Chief Minister can't be found sleeping. If he's found napping, the public obviously is bound to be outraged.
The recent rape incidents have surely put the spotlight on Karnataka, with the government drawing severe flack from across the country. A News9 report.
Rescue personnel had a tough time today battling a huge fire on Hosur Road. Here's more on that tragic incident.
A major fire broke out today in Tally Solutions Private Limited, a software firm in Bommanahalli on Hosur Road. A short circuit in file room is alleged to have caused the accident. The second and third story of the structure is completely gutted, despite fire tenders trying all they could to douse the fire. The building has around 2,000 employees, and all of them were rushed to safety before anything untoward could happen. A person trapped in the elevator was saved by rescue personnel. As many as 11 fire tenders have been pressed into service, and more than 100 firefighters are trying to douse the raging fire. Our correspondent Vivek has more information on this.
Dramatic scenes here in Bommanahalli at 1:30 p.m. The office goers here in AMR Park came out suspecting that there was fire, and luckily all the people inside this tech park are out. But as you can see there, the entire third floor is blazing in fire, and that is the Tally office. The company Tally was stationed at the third floor there. You can see the entire floor gutted in fire, thick fumes coming out of that floor, and the fire tenders are trying their best to gush out the fire there. And as they try to enforce the water through those windows, the glasses are also breaking. So this particular area is cordoned off for nobody to enter except the firefighters and the media personnel, a few of them who are risking their lives here to enter this particular place. You can see the glasses falling down. You can actually see that the glass is falling down there, paper coming out of that particular floor. And luckily there's no human casualties. All the particular windows here are falling down. The fire is spreading throughout the third floor. And the firefighters are trying their best to actually douse the fire. You can see a big sheet of fire just falling down here. And this fire engine, and you can just see there, extremely dangerous scenes, the way the things are falling off. Sharpnels falling here as here. Extremely unsafe to stay in this particular region. Luckily, it said that 1:30 p.m. this fire started. And it has not yet been doused. Garibari Palya Circle. Look at the dramatic scenes there. Fire blazing. It might take the next 2-3 hours for this fire to be put off, because there's thick fumes coming out, and as we speak, all the windows in these floors are breaking because of the fire and because of the pressure the water engine are using. And there you can see the fire tenders are actually putting up the ladder there so that they can go as close as possible towards the third floor and try dousing the fire. You can feel here, standing next to this particular park, you can feel the heat here. That is on the third floor. I can feel the heat here. Imagine the firefighters. They will have a tough task ahead to douse this fire. It remains to be seen when this fire will be doused because it's thick in nature. And the firefighters are trying once more to see if they can put out this big fire here. Still, the cause of the fire is unknown. An official statement has to be given by the fire department as to how this happened. Investigations have to be carried out. Such a big park, it's a big tech park in Bomanahalli. Almost 5 to 6 offices are there in this particular park. And yet, how can a fire of this magnitude break out in this building? Weren't there no security measures? What was the cause? All this has to be found out. Once this fire is doused, that is when it can be found out. And as we speak, more and more glass is being broken and is falling down. And you can see that the fire tenders through the ladder are trying their best, are trying to go as close as possible. Now, I've told you, I'm standing here down on the ground floor, and I can feel the heat. Imagine the difficulty the fire tenders will have on the ladder. Extreme heat, no visibility of the place, glasses breaking, pieces of paper, files, metal pieces, sharpness coming out as we speak here. And the smoke is unbearable to stand here. The smoke is thick, making you difficult to breathe. These are brave souls here, the firefighters, who are trying their best to douse the fire. In fact, you can see one man just ran inside the building. You can see one man running inside the building. It's extremely risky. This particular building, why the fire came, how it happened, all this will be investigated. With camera person Raghu, this is Vivek Vinayak for News 9, Bengaluru.